Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host, Derailious, and today we're going to be going over the Week 1 patch for the Torrhus Canyon, and it is a major one. Before we begin, though, make sure to like and subscribe, use code RAIL in the Hypixel store for 5% off your order, and without any further ado, let's get started. A lot of this video is going to be taking place on the forums, as they're going over the fact that there is a bunch of changes to the 0.27 release, and as you can see, there is a lot here. To begin with, though, they've added the Honey Guide to /guides, they've added an Abaphone contact to Archie, they've added a fancy new skin to the Grizzly Bear, and now he actually looks like a bear. They've added more possible hidey ho spawns, they've added a time breakdown to the reward summary, signal enhancers are now found on the bazaar, which is a very nice change. They've added sepia lot spawns to the spring path, and they've added sound effects that trigger whenever the beige half of a helix tree is completely cut. They've also added the amphibian family to several shards, including the sepia lot and the goldalot. They've allowed for players to stack bird baits of the same type in the bird feeder. That should make it a little bit faster for you. They've also allowed for pickaxe abilities to be used on the Torrhus Canyon, likely for the anthills. They've increased the Karma enchantment drop chance from 0.02 to 0.2%, so that should be a lot easier for you to get. They've also increased the chance of goldalot spawning in place of a sepia lot from 10% up to 20%. They've increased the speed at which birds are attracted to the bird feeder. The maximum wait time has been decreased from 30 seconds down to 10 seconds. And they've also done a lot of changes to Ruby Veil Shroom. The first is that they've increased the base yield of Ruby Veil Shrooms from 1 up to 4 to 8. And rarer sea creatures can now even drop Veil Shroom bunches directly. They've also increased Ruby Veil Shroom gain from Torrhus sea creatures across the board. They've improved the successful charm activation message. They've also improved Miria's contest complete announcement, as well as the successful shard trade message. They've also improved hidey ho dialogue and the chat color consistency in the "that's not a critter" messaging. They've also improved the item lore of various uncommon boosters and also renamed them. Basically, they've just made them a little bit more clear and added upgrade to the end of pretty much all of them. They have merged the Sepia lot and Goldalot bestiaries, so now you don't need to go for Goldalot specifically. They've also adjusted the pangolin detection to be based upon line of sight instead of just a flat radius. This should make it a little bit easier to get these guys. They've adjusted all Torrhus sea creature bestiaries to be in line with other modern sea creature bestiaries of the same tier. They've also adjusted Hunter Gene's menu to use mob skulls instead of items. They've adjusted the bestiary description of the tikis, and also they've changed how the Endstone Protector Shard is obtained. It's now awarded to all players with 240 or higher weight. They've adjusted the Gazer spawn sound effects, making it a little bit spookier, and they've adjusted the Frog Pet, reordering its perks, and revamping Hunting Enjoyer to specifically work on water shards. They've adjusted the Fusion Machine sound effects to now be client-side, as well as the Heart of the Forest and Heart of the Mountain menus to utilize stacked glass panes to better display which tier of the tree that you're looking at. They've adjusted Behemoth to no longer passively regain stamina when not lassoed, and they've also adjusted the spawn amounts of some Critter Safari mobs. Arita have gone from 2 to 4 up to 3 to 6, Billy Goats now spawn in groups of up to 2 to 4, Bloodbats have gone from 2 to 4 up to 3 to 6 as well, Tepids have gone down a little bit from 8 to 12 down to 6 to 8, Gazers have went from 2 to 4, Flitters from 3 to 6 up to 6 to 8, Foxtrots have gone up as well from 3 to 6 up to 6 to 8. They've also adjusted locations and amounts of some floor drops in the Critter Safari. Yogi Berries have gone from 3 to 6 across all biomes to just 3 guaranteed in the forest biome. Wriggleworms, same thing, as well as the Bag of Seeds. They've also adjusted the Starborn Temple door to shut behind players like the Moonglade Marsh one does. They've also changed around some chapter tasks. As you can see, they moved Obtain Ruby Veil Shrooms from chapter 3 to 4, and they moved Craft a Fun-Sized Pot of Honeycomb from chapter 4 to chapter 3. They've adjusted the Behemoth Down message to no longer display to players who dealt 0 damage. As you can see, the Accretion artifact also got a major change. You now only need 2 Veil Shroom bunches. This is also alongside the other buffs to Veil Shroom rates, meaning this is a lot easier to get your hands on. They've reduced the max kills required for most types of the Critter Bestiary. Common shards have gone from 300 down to 125, so Blue Jays, for example. Uncommons have gone from 150 to 100, and rare, epic, and legendaries are unchanged. This is a very solid change, but frankly, it should have happened before this update released. It was talked about a lot on the alpha, nothing ended up happening there. They also reduced the weight of the queen bee shard in honey hives from 25 down to 10. Taking a look at the Safari milestones, as you can see, the numbers have been significantly reduced. You only now need 750 critters instead of 1500 in order to max out each section. This should make the process of maxing this stuff out a lot faster, although the bestiaries did not really change much for many of the critters within the Safari, so that seems to be more of the end game part of the update, at least in terms of the critter Safari. The team has also reduced the water snake HP from 3k down to 1k. They reduced the speed of litter bugs by 25%. They removed the elusive mob type from the lunar moth. They removed additional fighting booster flavor text from items. They removed the true damage from torrids and silk breezes, which was crazy to think about. They've also removed the sea loomies from the hotspot haven. They've renamed the worm to the stone worm. They've added Hunter Reeves' brothers, so he does not show up multiple times. They fixed Heidi-Ho flying towards its hiding spot instead of instantly teleporting. It now leaves vague footprints in the direction of its hiding spot. They also fixed one of the Torrhus Canyon's helix trees, not allowing you to break the beige logs first. They also fixed the Claim All option in the Starland Sisters menus, awarding bits even if you had no bits available. And to wrap up on the patch notes themselves, the team states, "We are still balancing and patching this release. This list is not exhaustive and is subject to change. Changes and fixes to unobtainable fusions and hunting XP gains from the Safari Zone are a work in progress." While I am of course glad that a lot of this stuff has happened, many of these updates are great and they make the update a whole lot better for players to experience. It does call into question the Alpha Network a little bit. What is the purpose of the Alpha Network if the team is going to see feedback from it and not take it into account by the time it releases to the main server? Regardless, I am glad that they are fixing issues. I hope that continues. I hope we get the hunting XP fixes, as well as the fixes to many shards very, very soon. And I would love to hear what you think about this update down below. Look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.